go ahead and try this question. If you got this question wrong, I'd hazard a guess that many of you put as the incorrect answer choice A. And that's really the main thing we're going to talk about in this video, though we will talk about all of the choices in some fashion. So the title of this video is Feeling Left Out, because there are some words left out of choice A that make it seem much clearer. And you might say, well, why don't we need those words? And I'll talk about that in a second. But so you might read this and say, wow, it's really weird to start a sentence with that. It's just an odd way to start a sentence. It sounds weird, right? And I agree, it does sound a bit weird. It sounds a bit formal and stilted. But as we're going to talk about in a second, it is legitimate because what this is short for is a longer phrase. And that phrase is the fact that. So read the sentence with that. The fact that the commission decided to go ahead with the proposal despite the public outcry just goes to show how detached its members really are. So when you input that in the beginning of the sentence, when the subject, which used to be that, it's kind of weird, but that is the subject of the sentence. When you replace it with the fact that as the subject, it totally makes sense. Sentence works fine. So you might say, well, how come we don't need that? How come we can just use that to start a sentence? It sounds weird. And this is where we get into the land of kind of idioms and standard usage. It's just standard usage in English that we can do this. We can drop out the words the fact. We can leave them out. Just start the sentence with that, and we're fine. Some argue that having the fact there is redundant. All you would need is just the that, just to make a cleaner, more concise sentence, and that's fine. Some might also argue that leaving out the fact may make the sentence sound unusual, may make it more confusing. But in any event, regardless, the point is on the SAT, this is what's important. On the SAT, they will throw a sentence like this at you that starts with that, replace it with the fact that in your head, and if it works, the sentence, or at least that part, choice A, is okay. And so here A is fine. Even though it sounds weird, it's short for the fact that. Just remember it, this is something that the SAT tests. Let's just check the other choices. That the commission decided to go ahead with the proposal. So you might look at B and say, is this some sort of idiom error? Should it be decided going ahead or something like that? And no, you decide to do something. You don't decide doing something, right? I decided to go to the store. I decided to buy the fish, right? You don't say, I decided driving to the mall. That's weird. So this is fine. How about C? Despite the public outcry just goes to show. So this is another kind of idiom type question. I've designed this question myself, and I made a lot of idioms just because that's something that trips people up a lot. So this is an idiom, right? Just goes to show. It's an expression in English, totally fine. If you look at it in isolation, you might say, oh, wow, goes to. That's really weird in the sentence. But again, when you read it in context, it flows by just no problem. Now, D, we have its. This is a pronoun. We'd have to check what noun is this referring to. Whose members are detached here? Who is this referring to? And it's referring to the commission, which is indeed singular, so we would want to use the singular pronoun, right? It's the commission's a singular entity. It has members. Everything here is fine. So this is going to end up being an E, which often is what you're going to get on questions like this because they want you to pick choice A because it looks so strange. And when you realize that choice A is fine, and of course you check the other three choices, you'll often going to end up going with E because A is the big trap answer to this one. To learn more about Reason Prep's SAT, SAT subject test, and ACT video courses, go to reasonprep.com/enroll, and you can find the link in the description below the video.